Now this is what I call a Salisbury steak. Juicy, aromatic, perfectly seared on both sides. It was a long, hard battle getting to this point.
Maybe you should have taken Velvet's advice to use a spatula sooner.
I'm not one to ever surrender before a battle. Anyway, I've come a long way relying only on my bare hands.
But you did ask Kurogane to make you a spatula. That did happen, right?
I don't do things by halves. That's my way.
Eleanor, are you feeling okay?
Why do you ask?
You always seem to enjoy eating, but today you looked like you were struggling a little bit.
Really? Well, I'm not sick or anything. I actually feel even better than normal.
If you say so. Wait, do you just not like quiches?
No, I like them just fine. Velvet makes some great ones, doesn't she? It's amazing when you consider she can't taste them.
I've got it. You hate spinach, don't you?
I suppose there's no point in denying it.
And here I thought you people would eat anything.
I know a lot of people don't like carrots or bell peppers, but spinach? That's a new one to me.
You think so? It's quite bitter and it's got that smell. Kind of grassy or something medicinal, or...
I didn't know you were so picky. Actually, now that I think about it, you had some trouble with the solitoma, too.
It's actually because of the solitoma. I used to love spinach when I was little, but now it just reminds me of... solitoma.
I've had to take solitoma before too, but it had the opposite effect on me. Now spinach tastes sweet by comparison.
So much for the serious, mature woman. Looks like even you have some child left in you. But don't let it get to you. Being a fussy eater is just another way of life. You're in charge of your own plate.
I just don't like spinach. What's the big deal? Besides, I know you all hate it too. I'm talking about the spinach method. Supporting peers in achieving cohesive harmony. It's the foundation of any successful team, and you all completely fail at it.
Okay, so first, what the hell are you dribbling about? And second, I'm not going to be lectured by some wee baby who won't eat her spinach. And you know what? I do what I want. I'm a free woman, and I don't need to live by your rules.
Some of us just aren't cut out for team leadership. We'll leave that to you. You just let us each do our own thing. Am I right, Eisen?
Don't be ridiculous. The spinach method is the first thing every pirate learns if they want to join Ifrid's crew. Sometimes the younger sailors forget all the steps. I was just running a refresher lecture on it last night. Eleanor's on the money here.
By the way, Eisen, I'm still waiting on your latest report. I haven't heard anything from you in a while now.
Oh, I was gonna get to that, tomorrow.
I've had it up to here! All right, you three, sit down and listen. Did you not hear me? Sit down and listen! I don't need to live by your rules. Some of us just aren't cut out for it. I'll do it tomorrow. You might as well be toddlers. Our enemy is formidable and well-organized. Some might even say we'd be crazy to take them on. Surely even you three can recognize that any small lapses in cohesion could bring total disaster upon us.
How did we get from spinach to a lecture on team building?
Well, that's going to come in handy.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to ride, too.
I could get used to this.
I'm so worn out. I feel like I had to sprint the whole way here.
Huh. It seems like operating the board saps a lot of energy from Bienfu.
Even still, this board gives us a strategic advantage. Brave here will just have to bear a little exertion now and then.
Yeah, Brave. Buck up.
I believe in you. Be brave.
Ah! Stop calling me that! We've found quite a few geotrees so far. I feel like I've run 3 marathons back to back. I'm sorry, Bienfu. That's okay. All this exercise is making me nice and buff. You're right. You don't look any different, but when I touch you, I definitely feel muscles. I bet I could even take down Aizen and Rokuro with a single well-placed hit. I'm not so sure, but okay.
Bienfu, I know we're placing a heavy burden on you with all this geoboard business, and I'm sorry for that. but we really appreciate it. You've been truly helpful.
Aw, Madam Eleanor, you're too sweet. You're nothing like that mean old Miss Moguloo.
How are you coping with your fatigue?
I'm kind of not, actually. In fact, I don't think I'll ever recover. Unless you give me a nice massage, Madam Eleanor.
I think I can manage that.
I didn't think that actually work.
I'm quite good at working out those pressure points. I can really grind the butt of my spear in just the right spots and have you feeling refreshed in no time. But I have to warn you, it might hurt a little bit.
What? You know what? Never mind. I'm good. And you don't have to push so hard. Okay, that is refreshing, but ow, 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 ow!
All right. Looks like we found every last geotree.
Yeah, now you can go anywhere on your geoboard. But all that work has me worn out so much that my body's back to its old flabby self.
We've asked a lot of you, Bienfu, but we couldn't have gotten this far without you.
Did I hear right? I must be even more exhausted than I thought. I could have sworn I just heard Velvet actually thank me for something.
Your ears aren't playing tricks on you, Bienfu. We're all very proud of you. Thanks so much for stepping up and helping us.
You really come through when the cards are down.
Yeah, thanks for everything, Bienfu.
I've always just felt like I was a scared little Norman. I always hated the name Brave. I didn't think I deserved it at all. So hearing all you scary people accept me as who I am, it means a lot.
You should be proud, Bienfu. Do you see any other Norman traveling with the Lord of Calamity? I think not.
You know, you're right. No other Norman would be so courageous. Just me, Norman Brave.
Now you're talking. That's my sidekick. Although, the fact that you're siding with the Lord of Calamity does make you public enemy number... Well, not number 1, but certainly in the top 10. Hope you're ready to deal with the consequences of your poor life choices.
She's not wrong.
Bien! You're all terrible!
Those Bloodwings are definitely a rough crowd.
To be fair, things are never that straightforward when you're dealing with demons.
All that matters is that there's something in it for us if we hunt those Code Red demons. The only thing better than fighting formidable foes is getting paid for it.
Just remember that these Code Red demons are tough enough to make the Abbey shiver. We'd be wise not to underestimate them.
We should talk to those Bloodwings before considering any of the marks. They might have information that will help us prepare.
Yeah, and we better remember to upgrade our equipment.
Right.
I cannot work like this.
Is something wrong, Kurogane?
Well, how do I put it?
Hey! Have you guys seen Kamoana around?
Not lately, no.
I haven't seen her, no.
Great. She's making me play hide and seek with her, but she's surprisingly good at it for her age. Where is that girl hiding? Come out, wherever you are!
It worked!
Whoa! You were inside, Kurogane? Have you been in there this whole time?
Yep, I even asked him if I could first.
I only let her because she threatened to cry if I didn't.
But you still covered for her. That was nice of you.
Yeah, thanks, Kurogane. You're pretty nice.
I told no lie. I don't have a face, so I couldn't have seen her.
I suppose that's technically true.
Laffy-set, you won't believe it! Kurogane's armor is actually really roomy inside. I think I might even make it my secret hideout.
I'm not sure Kurogane would like that.
Oh, please, no.
You know what they say? Falling off a rock only makes us stronger.
I don't think that's quite how the saying goes. What was that?
Some sort of contrivance using Moloch arts. Probably part of their security system, I'd say.
Obviously.
We should keep our eyes open for any more surprises.
How is it now, Aizen?
I feel like whatever you did caused some sort of change.
Let's just pray they can't change it back anytime soon.
I'll pass on the praying. I've come here to make a mess of this temple, remember?
Ooh, you've got spunk. I like that. As long as you know what you're doing, then.
A candle? What's that doing here?
Oh, I think these were used to keep robbers away, like wards around old kings' tombs. I've read about this. There's a trick to the stone. It reacts to heat.
Heat, huh? Then there's only one thing to do.
This is a dual-layered barrier. It's the Abbey's new invention.
So it's two barriers working in tandem, then.
That sure sounds like a hell of a lot of trouble just to stop people from coming in.
It really does.
It won't open. Is there some sort of trick to it?
Well, you could always try busting through it, but I wouldn't. Who knows what sort of traps you might trigger?
I know. Look at that diamond-shaped stone in the door. Haven't we seen that somewhere else?
You're right. It was on the pedestal with that chalice.
That huge thing? You must have some sharp eyes there.
I was more interested in what was inside that chalice.
So, what? That chalice is the key?
Somehow I doubt it'll be that simple. Some stones are colored and some aren't. It must hold some kind of significance.
I think you're right.
So, how does it taste? I hope it's good.
It's a nice, consistent flavor. You've come a long way, Laphicet.
Whew, that's a relief. Thanks.
Everything from the prep work to the measurements follows the recipe to perfection. It's very you. I bet you'd be great at making pastries.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying to make some.
So long as you're all right with some simple things, I'd be happy to teach you.
That would be great. I also want to try making my own ingredients from scratch.
You don't have to go that far. You can just buy them from shops.
Yeah, but still.
Oh boy, I know how this story goes. First, it starts simple enough. You want to mix up something like curry powder. Then you'll be kneading noodles, growing sourdough starters, churning butter, and before you know it, you'll wind up fermenting miso and distilling spirits. Then comes the next phase. You'll grow your own rice and beans and raise your own animals. It's a road I've been down myself.
You have?
Yeah, out on this remote island. I even built a private salt pond where I can cultivate natural salt just the way I like it.
That's amazing!
So how far does this path lead?
It only ends when you've decided you've had enough. I won't lie to you, Laphicet. It's a hard road. But if you're really serious, I'll teach you the ropes.
I'm super serious! Please, teach me everything!
If that's what you want to do, I say go for it. Eating is a vital part of life. Might as well enjoy your food on as many levels as you can.
The Rangetsu style applies equally well to the kitchen. Look at how perfectly chopped everything is.
Yeah, and it's got a nice clean taste too, but with literally everything chopped to super tiny pieces, it all just ends up one texture.
That's not true. Look at how I do vegetables. For stir fry, I cut them super tiny, but for juices, I go extra super tiny.
Wait, you chop things into juice?
When you make sashimi, you slice the fish so thin it's nearly transparent. The pieces fall apart when I try to pick them up.
That's not even the best part. I can turn a fish into sashimi so quickly its bones keep on swimming away.
I think the fish might be a bit too fresh in that case.
And your angel hair pasta is thinner than actual hair. There's no possible way to cook it al dente. Don't cut your dough so thinly. Thicker pasta gives it soul and makes it hearty.
Sorry, but that's just how I do it. Any other way and it wouldn't be Rangetsu cooking.
Why do I even bother? It's like trying to reason with a brick wall.
Well, cutting takoyaki into slices is a bit much.
You might have me there. Okay, I'm sorry. I got carried away and wasn't thinking. Takoyaki has to be ball-shaped or it's not any good.
Exactly.
See? We can get him to agree on some things.
You say that like it's a good thing. I finally finished my culinary masterpiece. Eat your hearts out!
Wow. I can tell you put a lot of care into this, Magilu.
Yeah, it's really refined. There's a lot of subtlety to it.
Color me surprised. I figured the only thing you'd be good at concocting was poison.
You know what they say. Jack of one trade, master of many. Once you're a witch of my caliber, cooking comes naturally.
Are there really that many similarities between cooking and witchcraft?
Oh, so very many. For instance, the first steps in preparing a broth are the same as for brewing cursing concoctions.
Wow. I had no idea.
Cursing concoctions?
And the way you prepare the ingredients for a love potion can be readily applied to how you make simmered dishes.
Really?
Love potions?
Think of the similarities like this. In both witchcraft and cooking, you have to think about who's going to consume your creations. It's very important.
I think I understand what you mean. It's the way you put feeling into it.
No, don't listen to her!
From now on, you can't eat anything Magilu cooks for you until you had someone else test it first.
What? Why? What do you mean, test it?
Just make Bienfu eat some and see how he reacts.
That's a good idea. Let's go with that.
What?
Poor Laphicet, surrounded by women who wouldn't know a joke if it hit them upside the head. The trick to being a good cook is having a playful side.
How does it taste?
Well, it's great.
You say that about everything you eat.
That's not true. I have a very refined palate. Eleanor's cooking is, you know, how do I put it? Her dishes have gotten more flexible.
Come again?
It's commanding, but not so rigid, and yet still representative of who she is.
I'm still not sure I follow.
I used to cook by following every recipe as precisely as possible, but I've learned to feel out the dishes a bit more. I decide how much seasoning to use, and I make adjustments to taste. Sometimes what I make doesn't turn out right, but it's more fun this way.
Wow, you really have changed, Eleanor.
That's what I meant when I said her dishes were flexible. I was right.
Rokuro, don't talk with your mouth full. You're getting food everywhere.
Sorry. I couldn't help myself.
You did it again. Look, it's all over your face. Act your age, Rokuro.
Sorry again.
There's something else I've been meaning to mention. Do you realize you hold your chopsticks incorrectly?
Oh, you noticed. It's an original way I came up with myself, because I didn't want to imitate Shigure growing up. Pretty nifty, ain't it?
No, it's not. It's horrible manners. Corrupted manners at the table leads to a corrupted soul. Hold your chopsticks properly.
I'm a demon, so I think that ship has already sailed.
Properly!
All right, fine. I don't think my Rangetsu's sword training was ever this strict.
Maybe Eleanor hasn't changed all that much.
All right, I'm done cooking. Dig in.
Aizen, I gotta say, your food tastes quite rich.
But not in a bad way. It's rich, but it's not overpowering.
Yeah, it's a very grown-up flavor. I could get attached to this.
Of course. I used a lot of my special ingredients.
Special ingredients.
That sounds oddly suspicious.
Normally, a master would never reveal his secrets. But I'll make an exception this one time. One of my secret ingredients is pirate mushrooms. Using them, you can make an excellent broth with a full-bodied flavor prized by the most discerning chefs.
That sounds kind of like bandit mushrooms, which can kill you in a single bite.
Indeed. Pirate mushrooms are quite rare and very difficult to differentiate from bandit mushrooms.
I also use a little something called the Reaper pufferfish.
Isn't that fish so deadly poisonous that its juices could single-handedly put down an entire herd of elephants?
No more than a handful of chefs could prepare them in a way that would actually be edible.
Yeah, but the flavor is sublime. It'll make you think you've died and gone to heaven.
You don't mean that literally, right?
You prepared the fish yourself, yes? Just so we're clear?
Of course I did. I'm in charge of my own knife. I take full responsibility, from scratch to finish. That's just my way.
I think I'm starting to feel a little dizzy.
Me too. Reaper cooking is no joke. It's to be respected and feared.